You know, when you look up at the night sky, have you ever really wondered what it's all made of? Well, believe it or not, the answers might be hiding in something smaller than a single grain of sand. So today, we're going to take you inside this incredible lab in Kyoto, Japan that's literally decoding the secrets of stardust.
Okay, so just picture this. You're holding a single speck of dust. But this isn't just any dust. It was brought back from an asteroid billions of kilometers away. I mean, what could a tiny rock like that possibly tell us? Well, as it turns out, pretty much everything.
For starters, it holds clues about where every single drop of water on Earth came from. Yeah, you heard that right. Our vast, deep blue oceans, their story might have started with cosmic dust, just like this.
And it gets even crazier than that. This dust, it contains the actual ingredients that could have sparked life on our world. Think about what that means. It suggests that life wasn't just some lucky accident here on Earth, but that its building blocks could be, well, everywhere in the cosmos.
And if you look to the future, this very same dust gives us a kind of roadmap for our future out there, among the stars. We're talking about everything from mining asteroids for resources to, defending our planet from cosmic threats. It's all connected. It's wild.
So the big question is, how in the world do we unlock these massive secrets? Well, the story starts inside this totally unique facility, where a team of, let's call them scientific detectives, has figured out how to read the language of the cosmos. All right, let's meet the heroes of this story. They're the scientists at the Cosmic Dust Laboratory, or CODL for short, at Kyoto University. And seriously, you can think of them as cosmic detectives, piecing together the entire history of our solar system, one tiny, microscopic clue at a time.
So what CODL does is solve this really fundamental problem in astronomy. See, telescopes, they see light, right? But they don't see the actual stuff directly. CODL is the bridge for that gap. They figure out exactly how stardust and light interact, so that when something like the James Webb Telescope points at a faraway nebula, astronomers know precisely what it is they're looking at.
Honestly, this is the perfect way to think about it. It's like they're the opticians of astronomy. Just like an optician makes the right glasses to help you see, CODL provides the data that lets astronomers bring the whole universe into sharp focus. Without them, all that amazing telescope data, it's just a beautiful but totally blurry picture.
And to put their work into perspective, there are other incredible labs out there, like the Stardust machine in Spain. They focus on how dust is first born out of clouds of gas. But CODL and Kyoto, they're totally unique. They study what happens after that, the entire life of that dust as it's zipping through space, getting blasted by radiation and crashing into other particles.
Okay, so to investigate these cosmic cold cases, our detectives need some seriously high-tech tools. I mean, we are talking about technology that can recreate the most extreme conditions in the entire universe right there in a lab in Kyoto. It's amazing. So their first big tool is something called cryogenic spectroscopy. To get a really accurate reading, they have to perfectly copy the brutal, freezing conditions of deep space. So what they do is, they create an exact replica of space dust, stick it in this basically super refrigerator, and then shine an infrared light through it to capture its unique spectral fingerprint. And when I say cold, I mean it's just unbelievably cold. We're talking 10 Kelvin. That is just 10 degrees above absolute zero. The theoretical point where all atomic motion just stops. And this is so crucial, because minerals act completely differently when they're that frozen. This is literally the only way to get a true reading.
But hey, space isn't just cold, right? It's also incredibly violent. So to simulate those cosmic collisions, they use this absolutely insane piece of equipment, the light gas gun. It basically uses a massive blast of super pressurized gas, like hydrogen or helium, to fire a tiny projectile at a target. It's mimicking a micrometeorite impact, but at a truly mind-boggling speed.
And the speed? Get this, 10 kilometers per second. That is over 36,000 kilometers an hour. That's fast enough to turn solid rock into vapor in an instant. And studying this helps scientists understand everything from how craters form to, more importantly, how we might defend Earth from a potential asteroid impact.
So what happens when you take this amazing toolkit and you use it on real stardust? Well, Japan's Hayabusa missions actually brought back samples from real asteroids, and CODL got the job of analyzing them. And let me tell you, what they found completely changed how we see our solar system.
Okay, so the first huge discovery was this thing called space weathering. It turns out asteroids are basically wearing a disguise. The constant bombardment from the solar wind creates this super thin layer of iron nanoparticles all over their surface, and that makes them look way darker and redder through a telescope than they really are underneath. CODL's analysis was the key that let us see an asteroid's true colors for the very first time.
Then came the absolute bombshell. The samples from the asteroid Ryugu, they were just loaded with water-bearing minerals and, get this, amino acids. We're talking the building blocks of proteins, of life itself. This is the most direct evidence we have ever found that the ingredients for our oceans and for life were actually delivered from space, arriving on, like, cosmic taxis. And finally, they completely shattered the image we all have of asteroids as these solid, giant rocks. Nope. Instead, they have what's called a plum pudding structure. They're actually just loose piles of rubble, dust, grit, ice, all just barely held together by their own weak gravity. And this is a huge deal for planetary defense, right? Because trying to blow up a loose pile of rubble is a very different problem than shattering a solid rock.
But the impact of all this research doesn't just stop out there in deep space. Not at all. The knowledge we're getting from studying the Stardust is now spinning off into some of the most cutting-edge tech right here on Earth. It is truly amazing to see.
I mean, just look at the range of this stuff. In materials science, CODL's work is leading to things like super insulators and even those Vantablack-style coatings for stealth tech. In astronomy, it's literally creating the roadmap for asteroid mining. And then you have medicine, where the exact same techniques they use to look at frozen dust are now being adapted to study frozen human cells to help fight diseases like Alzheimer's. It's incredible.
So from the deepest, darkest parts of space, these tiny grains of stardust have carried the story of where we came from. They've revealed how our oceans formed and how life itself might have gotten its start. And what all this research proves is that cosmic dust isn't just some old history book. It's a blueprint. So the real question now isn't just what it tells us about our past, but what it's going to let us build for our future.